One of the many ways I study Arabic is through translating Arabic cartoons. Yes, it is. It's true. Now, that's not the only technique I use, of course. I'm using flashcards, I'm listening to the radio, I'm learning phrases from other people, and I'm watching all sorts of documentaries and trying to expose myself to Arabic as much as possible. In this video, I'm going to show you one of the techniques I use to learn Arabic, and whatever your level is, I know what you're thinking, I'm not at the level where I can understand an Arabic cartoon yet, it's too complicated, my listening skills aren't that good. I'm going to show you how anybody, whatever level you're at, can watch a cartoon, get some words, get some phrases, and get some benefit from doing that. Okay, so come with me over to the laptop. Okay, I'm going to say right off the bat, Cartoon Network Mina, please don't take this video down. I'm using your video for educational purposes. It's within the fair use policy. Nobody's going to come and watch your cartoons on my channel instead of your channel. Like, that would be ridiculous because I'm not even playing it all the way through. I'm just playing the first minute. Now they've got that out of the way, let's go. Okay, and we're rolling. I'm at my laptop. I've got everything here. You can see that my screen, and I can't see your screen. That's not right. So, Cartoon Network Mina is the page which we are going to be using. Mina, Middle East, North Africa, يعني البلدان التي يتكلموا اللغة العربية. And the video we're going to be watching is this one here, 5 days ago. And the only other tab I've got open right now is Google Translate, just so that we can use that. Because actually it's quite a good tool. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good for the beginner to get an idea of verbs and words and nouns and to be able to get a gist of what's going on. I've actually done a bit of preparation here, and I've got 3 levels, okay? Whatever level you are, there should be things you can hear. So let's start right off the bat. Listen carefully. سوء تفاهم, سوء تفاهم. Now, without even knowing any Arabic at all, if you've just learned the letters, you know that we've got a sa, su, and okay, this one's a bit tricky because the hamza is quite a challenge to hear unless you're experienced. Su tafahum, space, ta, fa, hum. Su tafahum. Oh, misunderstanding. Let's just check. Oh, misunderstandings. It said it in the title anyway, so we know that's right. Fine, misunderstandings. The misunderstanding. Su tafahum. Like 4 seconds in, and you've learned a new piece of vocabulary. You've learned a new word, which you didn't know before, without even trying. So we're already winning. Su tafahum. Okay, that's tricky for a beginner, so we're just going to keep going. He spoke very fast there, very, very quickly. Ignore that. Get rid of it. I just heard something. Did you hear that? Jadid. He said jadid. I wonder what that means. Jadid. Jim. Da, jadid. Oh, new word. Now, this is one of those words which you may actually have learned in the early stages of your learning. I mean, if you've learned a bit of vocab, you might know a few adjectives. So jadid is something you might know. And this is a good example of being able to hear it, recognize it, which is one of the key steps in remembering it and learning it as a word as part of your vernacular. Naam. He said naam. Listen again. Naam. He said naam. I wonder what that means. Na-a-ma. Because Arabic is spelt the way it sounds, you can just hear a word, naam, you can write it, naam, noon, ain, mim. Means yes. Naam. Lots of ways of saying yes. Ajal, aywa, naam. Okay, let's listen on. That's ridiculous. He's speaking way too fast. Crack on. Ignore that bit. Again, very hard. Oh, jadid. Did I just hear jadid? I think I know that word. Jadid. Let's see if I do know it. I think it means new. Jadid. New. Okay, that's another word I've just learned. Jadid. New. Okay, that first bit is really quick, where he goes... That was quick. Ignore that. And then listen to what she says back. Ajal. I think that might be that word that we just had, which is another way of saying yes. Let's just check. Ajal. Ajal. It means yup. Yes. It means another word for yes. So we've already learned how to say these three things. سوء تفاهم. نعم جديد أجل. ماذا? Did you hear that? ماذا? Remember, we're doing this as a beginner now, so we're just picking out the individual words which stand out to us, which we can hear clearly. We'll go through this again then as a level 2 and as level 3. ماذا? ماذا? ماذا might be a word which you know, and again you're hearing it in context. ماذا? What? What are you on about? What are you saying? Remember, we use ماذا followed by a verb, or should I say preceding a verb. Whenever a verb follows it, use ماذا. If not, use ما. This is in فصحى. So ماذا, we've just looked, means what. ماذا? ماذا? What? What's the problem? What's the issue? Why are you going crazy? What's this all about? Why are you screaming at me? Gumball was a funny one. And then basically he realizes he's screwed up a bit, and he's... I mean, you can guess what he said there, can't you? You can pretty much guess by the tone of his voice and the way he's done the beep and everything. It's like an answering message. Okay, so as a beginner, you can see like a few minutes in, and we've already learned a few pieces of vocab. The vocab that we've learned, I've put into a nice little box there. So, سوء تفاهم, misunderstandings. نعم, yes. جديد, new. أجل, yes. ماذا, what. Fine, done, right? Easy, simple, بسيط. Okay, now let's watch it again as a level 2. Okay, and we're going to be listening out for slightly more complex phrases. All that's very quickly, okay? But listen to this next bit. جديد we knew. إنه مطعم جديد. إنه مطعم جديد. إنه مطعم جديد. مطعم. I wonder what مطعم means. ما, ta, a, ma. مطعم. Oh, restaurant. Oh, j'adore restaurant. J'aime restaurant. مطعم. So مطعم means restaurant. So that's another word. And what did she say before it? إنه مطعم جديد. إنه مطعم جديد. مطعم. Now I know there's no on the end, but in فصحى there's like an invisible double dhamma at the end, which I'm not going to go into here. مطعم جديد. إنه مطعم جديد. Okay, so إنه مطعم جديد. إنه مطعم جديد. ما تا ع من جديد. جديد. إنه مطعم جديد. It's a new restaurant. Oh, look at that. It's a new restaurant. إنه مطعم جديد. Okay, what else is she going to say? Okay, did you hear that? أنا أيضا. أنا أيضا. Let's see what that says, means. أنا أيضا. أنا أيضا. أنا أيضا. I also. Wait, what was it? Oh, أنا أيضا. Me too. Means me too.
لكني لا أراكِ. حقا أين أنت؟ هنا بجانب المتجر الذي يبيع
Listen to what she says here.
حقا أين أنت؟
حقا أين أنت؟ حقا أين أنت؟ حقا حقا. If we put a question mark. حقا أين أنت؟ حقا أين أنت? Oh really? Where are you? حقا أين أنت? Phrase right there. حقا أين أنت? حقا? Really? Truthfully? أين أنت? أين means where. أنت. أنت means you are. Where you are. Where you are. أين أنت? أين أنت? حقا أين أنت? Really? Where are you? And then skip forward to the end.
يرسل ترك رسالة بعد الصافرة. 10 دقائق.
What did you say? 10 دقائق. 10 دقائق. 10 دقائق. دقائق. And then it's a hamza. قا. 10 دقائق. Now I'll give you this. You do need a little bit of knowledge about the letters. You do need to know the alphabet. You need to be able to be quite used to hearing the sounds and the way they are pronounced, okay? 10 دقائق. 10 دقائق. 10. You should know that as a number. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Those are the 1 to 10. Now 10. 10 دقائق. دقائق is plural for minutes. دقيقة دقائق دقيقة دقائق. Okay, that's minutes. دقائق minutes دقيقة minute. So 10 minutes دقائق, and he says 10 minutes. Like, okay, I've screwed up. I'll be there in 10 minutes. See you soon. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go through it, and I'm basically going to translate the entire thing. So as somebody who is advanced and is good at Arabic, then there are still things to work on. So let's take, like, for example, this first quite quick dialogue. قنبل هل ستأتي أم لا؟ قنبل هل ستأتي أم لا? This is هل is a question particle. هل makes it into a question. قنبل هل ستأتي أم لا? أتى يأتي is from the verb. Well, أتى يأتي, it's the verb to come. Come. هل ستأتي, the ta makes it into the future. The sub makes it into the future. The ta makes it you. So ستأتي, you are coming. You are coming. هل ستأتي أم لا? لا means no. Are you coming or not? هل ستأتي أم لا? And if you hear that, and if you've got the listening skills, my listening skills aren't particularly good, to be honest, and I do struggle with this, which is why I practice it a lot, and I have help as well. But هل ستأتي أم لا? هل ستأتي أم لا? Question mark. Are you coming or not? هل ستأتي أم لا? The good thing about learning Fusha is that dictionaries understand Fusha. They speak Fusha. If you're trying to learn a dialect, good luck. هل ستأتي أم لا? هل ستأتي أم لا? Are you coming or not? Okay, next phrase.
لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء.
What on earth did he just say?
هل ستأتي أم لا؟ لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء.
لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء. That's hard.
لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء.
لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء. لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء. Now, you could write this. لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء. لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء. But I thought we were going out to dinner. Let's break this down. لكن, but. Sometimes ولكن, but. لكن ظننت. This comes from the verb ظن with a shadda. ظن with a shadda, which means to think. لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء. لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء. سنخرج. Okay, if you've learned a bit of Arabic grammar, you'll know that most verbs are made up of 3 root letters. The 3 root letters in this verb are probably not going to be the sa or the noon, because we know that sa puts a verb into the future tense and the noon makes it into we are doing the action. سنخرج. خرج means to exit or to leave or to go out. خرج. المخرج is always the exit. مخرج, the place of exiting. مخرج. لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء. عشاء means dinner. سنخرج, we will go out. But I thought we were going out for dinner. لكن ظننت أننا سنخرج للعشاء. Oh, it's starting to make sense now. He's in trouble. And she says أجل, which we already know anyway. سنتناول الغداء في مطعم العشاء. So سنتناول أجل. She says أجل. Let's just write this. أجل سنتناول الغداء في مطعم العشاء. أجل سنتناول الغداء في مطعم العشاء. So what she's saying there is, yes, سنتناول, we will take الغداء, lunch, في مطعم العشاء, at the diner restaurant. Diner, that's confusing, because an American diner doesn't necessarily mean that it's only for dinner. That's where the confusion has arisen. آسف ظننت أننا سنلتقي في المول. آسف ظننت أننا سنلتقي في المول لا في المنزل. آسف is actually quite a good one as well, if you wanted to say sorry. آسف. آسف is a good word. آسف. Sorry. آسف. ظننت أننا سنلتقي في المول لا في المنزل. I thought we would meet. لقى لقى يلقي. لقى يلقي is the verb. To meet. ظننت أننا سنلتقي في المول. Again, it's the sa and the noon puts in the future. I thought that we would meet in the mall. ظننت أننا سنلتقي في المول لا في المنزل. Not at home. منزل is house. منزل. If you just hear منزل, you could just go, oh, منزل. Oh, home. Good. I'll add that to my list of vocabulary to learn. منزل, home. Let's see what else it says. And then she says أنا في المول. That's easy. أنا في المول. I'm in the mall. أنا في المول.
أنا أيضا لكني لا أراك.
لكني لا أراك. لكني لا أراك. I don't see you. لكني لا أراك. I don't see you. حقا أين أنت؟ حقا أين أنت؟ Really? Where are you? حقا أين أنت؟
هنا بجانب المتجر الذي يبيع.
أنا هنا بجانب المتجر الذي يبيع. And he says, I'm.
هنا بجانب المتجر الذي يبيع.
He's saying here, I'm here at the shop next to the shop which sells, and then he kind of hesitates.
هنا بجانب المتجر
هنا بجانب المتجر
الذي يبيع.
الذي يبيع. So he's making up some excuse as to where he is in the mall. He's lying basically. He's a kadhab, and he in return he gets choke slammed against the wall by the phone wire.
جامبل أنت تدرك أنني اتصلت بمنزله.
And then she says, جامبل أنت تدرك أنني اتصلت بمنزلك. جامبل أنت تدرك أنني اتصلت بمنزلك, which means, do you know I called you at home? It's like this. You're aware. أنت تدرك أنني اتصلت بمنزلك. If we hear that, we can go to translate and we can say, أنت تدرك أنني اتصلت بمنزلك. You are aware. أنت تدرك, you know, you're aware, right? Do you realize? أنني, that I, اتصلت, contacted you. أنت تدرك أنني اتصلت بمنزلك. Your house, منزلك, at your house, بمنزلك. The kaf makes it into your house. منزل, house, منزلك, your house. أنت تدرك أنني اتصلت بمنزلك. Do you know that I called you at home? You idiot, basically.
بالطبع يعني هذه رسالة صوتية تركتها لك. يرجى ترك الرسالة بعد الصافرة.
And then he goes, هذه رسالة صوتية تركتها لك. يرجى ترك رسالة بعد الصافرة. Which is kind of funny. It means, you know, this you've reached the aunt's phone message, and please leave a message after the beep, basically. He's a cheeky one. So the important point to remember here really is that whatever your Arabic level, whether you're a beginner or you're advanced or you're somewhere in the middle, there is benefit to watching videos like this and just taking out vocab. Even if you're a beginner, you can still take out a few words. Misunderstandings, سوء تفاهم, نعم, جديد, أجل, ماذا. There was another one as well, أنا آسف. You can hear these words, you can translate them, you can add them to your vocab. You've heard them in context as well. إنه مطعم جديد. أنا أيضا. حقا أين أنت؟ 10 دقائق. هل ستأتي أم لا؟ جامبل هل ستأتي أم لا? She says. And then she says, سنتناول الغداء في مطعم العشاء. سنتناول الغداء في مطعم العشاء. We were going to eat lunch at the diner. ظننت أننا سنلتقي في المول لا في المنزل. ظننت أننا سنلتقي في المول لا في المنزل. I thought we were going to eat at the mall, not at home, not at the house. And then blah 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 blah. A few seconds later, أنت تدرك أنني اتصلت بمنزلك. أنت تدرك أنني اتصلت بمنزلك. You're aware that I called you at home. هذه رسالة صوتية تركتها لك. ترجى ترك رسالة بعد الصافرة. هذه رسالة, this message صوتية, this voice message تركتها has been left for you. يرجى ترك, please leave رسالة, message after the beep بعد الصافرة. 10 دقائق, 10 minutes. He'll be there in 10 minutes, okay? Level 1, level 2, level 3. Alright, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this. If you found it useful, let me know. If you didn't, then also let me know, because then, I have an option of, I can do more of these, I can not do more of these. Personally, I really like them. I find them really useful. So, yeah, if you find it useful, let me know. And I am Mike. أنا مايك. أنا اسمي مايك. أنا أدرس اللغة العربية بالإنترنت with people via من خلال Skype or on YouTube as well. طبعا. If you're new here, you can subscribe. You can see more videos there and there. And I hope to see you again for the next video, which is probably going to be quite soon. So I'll see you then. Okay, مع السلامة. إلى اللقاء. Bye bye.